Join us on the 8th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2025 and 11th Anniversary Bonfire Dinner, recognizing and awarding Pan-Africans who selflessly fought and defended the rights and freedoms of the black race globally on 30th August 2025 at Fair Hotel from 2 p.m. Dress code, strictly pub t-shirts or traditional stroke African wear. Theme, One Africa, One Passport. United States of Africa, USA. Book your dinner card now. Table for 8, 3 million. Platinum, 1 million. Gold, 500K. Silver, 400K. Bronze, 150K. Call 0757 342317 or 0782 342317 to book your dinner card online now. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I am because we are. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by Fairway Hotel, NBS TV, Afro Mobile, Lupa Radio Foundation, JJK, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG. Because if right now you tell Akena, your people in the grassroots can start mobilizing for elective positions from the lowest to the top. I mean, one will be asking who will be signing those forms, who will be funding, who will be in charge.
No, our structures.
So it's not possible.
Our structures are normal political party structures. By the way, the constituency conferences and district conferences have got the mandates to sort out most of the elections.
Yeah, but the district leadership.
But I think where you're right.
The district leadership reports to the commander, who is the party president.
No,
so right now,
no. At the moment, all district structures. By the way, that's the irony in UPC. All non-district structures, are independent UPC structures. None of those factions, nor Ochieno, the non-faction Obote's UPC mainstream constitutionalists, can claim that they own or control any structure. However, what I know those faction guys have done, Jimmy has done it, Walobit has tried to do it. They go ahead and try to elect the structures sympathetic to them. I've not done that. That extraordinary bit where they amended the UPC constitution illegally by removing term limits.
UPC.
Not UPC, no, you know UPC constitution. Jimmy amended, not UPC, because Jimmy's meeting is not a UPC meeting. I'm telling you what Jimmy and this group did.
Okay, the Jimmy faction amended the UPC constitution to remove the term limit.
Yes.
Welcome to yet another edition of the Andrew Irumba Live Show. My name is Andrew Irumba Katusave, Spy Uganda, the Spy Television, Detective UG. Comrade Joseph Ochieno is a leader at the Uganda People's Congress, UPC. I thought that DP was the oldest party in Uganda. Comrade Ochieno, Joseph corrected me and said, no, UPC is the oldest party. But all of us historically in Uganda, we thought DP is the oldest party. But nevertheless, Comrade Ochieno, you're welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
How are you?
I'm well, and I'm delighted that I've contributed a little.
Not a little, a lot. A lot.
To correcting that historical narrative, which should be very important for our country. Should be very important for...
UPC is the oldest or DP?
UPC is the oldest political party.
When did it start?
1952.
When did
it started
start?
as Uganda National Congress. DP started in 1954. In fact, almost as a counter, whether it's the right word or a counter-revolutionary organization
against UPC.
Against UPC formations. And maybe for the benefit of your viewers, because whereas UPC was founded on the grounds and basis of Africans' grievances.
African problems, African solutions.
No. Africans' grievances around the question of identity and nationhood, statehood of the Republic of Uganda. That addresses all the core issues, the day-to-day issues of the Ugandan African. DP was founded as part of a Catholic grievance in Uganda. So the African grievance was around the British colonial establishment that was controlling Uganda and the Asian economic control of the Ugandan economy. For the DP, it was very much about that predominantly in Buganda, the Catholics were marginalized by the Protestant establishment, then led by the Kingdom of Buganda and the British colonial government that was ruling Uganda at the time. So DP, so the central government controlled from Entebbe by British establishment as Protestant and exploitative. The kingdom, Kabaka's kingdom, the Protestant establishment, which since 1892 there had been an official declaration that the Katikkiro of Buganda must always be a Protestant. Catholics were substantially marginalized, and for 70 years that was the status quo. And so if Mengo was a Protestant establishment, Entebbe was a Protestant establishment, and Catholics who were the majority in Buganda sort of had no say. And to them, you see Uganda National Congress, founded with a new president in the name of Ignatius Musazi, who was a Buganda Protestant. This guy said, no, we are finished. There are 3 centers of power now, all of them Protestant controlled. And so the Catholics mobilized themselves and said, well, they needed to counter this, quite rightly in my opinion. However, they were wrong about Uganda National Congress, because although Musazi was a Protestant, UPC's, Uganda National Congress's formation was not about Protestant domination, but rather addressing the grievances of the average African Ugandan, meaning independence, welfare, economic marginalization, and, as I said, as it were, anything and everything in terms of anything and everything that concerned the African personality and interest in Uganda.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Comrade Ochieno.
Yes, sir.
How is UPC this morning? Following the current legal hig-hag there, here and there, the quagmire, the status of Akena, how is the mood at UPC head offices?
I don't know. The headquarters is obviously, unfortunately, like an occupied territory.
Occupied territory?
Yeah. Because since 2015, the occupants of Uganda House, led by Akena, my brother, are officially an illegitimate group. Number 2, they stormed into Uganda House, unlike, almost like Museveni, who stormed into State House in Entebbe. So they were not handed over the keys. They literally chased over Olara. And then number 2, of course, Jimmy declared himself president without a clear mandate of the respective organ of the party, meaning the Delegates Conference, formally doing so. And so that is the state of Uganda House. I unfortunately have no business there as a result. And I would presume that the mood there on the one hand is somber, because they're genuine members of the party who go to Uganda House as their party headquarters, because that's our permanent party headquarters. But who know the anomalies. But unfortunately, of course, there's a section within Uganda House who basically believe that Akena is an entitled leader of the party.
Because he's the son of the founder. Son of Milton Obote.
Yeah.
Founding president.
What does that got to do with the administration?
Yeah, some kind of entitlement.
So you say, I didn't use entitlement in that context, in that setting. But it is true that when you find people who are prepared to flout the constitution of the Uganda People's Congress and disregard outcomes of judicial processes, then those are people who are operating over and above the law, and either they have confidence from authority of some kind of special entitlement. I do not know, but Uganda House is there. It's a physical property. It's not going. Yeah.
On that note, I think you need to. You can shake my hand on behalf of President Museveni. Now here you are shaking Museveni's hand. on behalf of Museveni, you were shaking my hand. You know why? You have been accusing Museveni.
There is no circumstance under which I would shake Museveni's hand
Yes. You have been accusing Museveni of backing up Akena to stay in power illegally. Now, Museveni's system has helped you to kick out Akena. No, you're removing your hand when I say that.
I have never accused Museveni of helping Akena stay in power.
You said that something.
No. I am very
because
clear.
You said the police was and the...
No, but I mean, if I made anything close to that, my direct fire was to the judiciary. That
but because that is Museveni's system. You said
from that perspective, if it's Museveni's system, that's the way. Yes, but it is also true that it's really the incompetence of the system or the intention of the system. That's why we have the status quo. So if it's from that perspective, then you're probably right that Jimmy has been.
Now you needed to appreciate the president.
Why should I appreciate him?
I mean, last time you were saying
strangling the political parties and
right now he has helped you to deal with the Jimmy through the judicial.
How has he helped?
They have ejected him legally. That's why. So
did you have?
Are you not the one who wrote the letter to Electoral Commission the other day? You're the one. You're the one. But so you are basing on the ruling of the court to write the Electoral Commission saying, please don't deal with Akena.
They shouldn't have been dealing with Jimmy.
Yeah, sure. So
have you got evidence that Museveni instructed his Electoral Commission to?
I mean, this is not me. This is you. Always, whenever there is anything wrong, you say this is Museveni. Now, this is Museveni.
You know, you're a journalist. Stop making sweeping statements like that. For us in UPC, we don't do that, and certainly in the mainstream UPC, we don't make claims and allegations which are so sweeping.
So, my brother, the point I was making is that this time round, when I saw Jim Akena's comments accusing the president, that he's undermining his leadership, yet the other time, it is your faction.
I don't have a faction.
Okay. It is your group that was not settled with Jim Akena being the president, who were accusing Museveni and the system of, bolstering Jim Akena to stay in power illegally. So this time around, the wind is actually hitting to your side. The wind is doing you a favor. So you should be appreciative of that fact.
I don't know what favor you mean by a judicial.
Police and the judiciary stopped the illegal press. Delegates conference at Conakry Dane. Those years when Jim Akena and Betty Among were still in good books with the system,
are they now in bad books?
They would not have allowed it.
Are they now in bad books?
I think so. They are not very, but they are starting. They are starting. When you see Jim Akena, you saw Jim Akena what he was speaking.
No.
You saw him on TV.
I watched some clip.
Yeah, so that does not speak to a close friend. That speaks to friends that are beginning to disintegrate. the space is widening now. and that is, when it widens, it is to your advantage. That time when they are just brought on board Betty Among as minister and so on, the space was so, closed that you could not penetrate. Now, the space is widening. The man is disgruntled with the system.
Wow.
Yet the system has been actually keeping him in power illegally. So this is what I'm saying.
I think there's a...
You don't be sincere and appreciate the fact.
I think there's hypocrisy here. I think where you're right is it's rather cheek of Jimmy actually to seem to suggest that having illegally and illegitimately hung on to the leadership of the party for 10 years and having set on track an alleged roadmap for elections that would lead to a delegates conference in which he really wanted to cling on, and having had Dennis Enap participate in that illegality with him, after they had successfully nominated themselves, Dennis Enap went to court and sought legal redress, challenging Jim Akena's intended plans for standing as a candidate again to lead the party into the future. That's when the courts ruled on the merits of Dennis's application that Jimmy did not qualify. That's all that started. So I wasn't a party to that. In other words, Jimmy's complaints about the swiftness of the judicial response to Dennis's case and was that it was rather too swift. So Dennis must be helped by somebody. So contrary to the Dennis's experiences, my own application has taken 4 years and 4 months. Dennis' application took 1 month. So between me and Dennis and Jimmy, I think it would be extremely unfair to associate my miseries, with any assistance by the state.
Hey.
Yeah.
The application has not been heard.
My application has not been heard.
It is going to be heard on 28th?
19th of next month. But what was heard was when last week I went to court to seek
an injunction.
An ex parte, yes.
An injunction to the
interim injunction. Yeah.
To the delegates conference at Konakam
to Jimmy's meeting, which was a alleged delegates conference. That obviously I successfully obtained, and the judge had to grant it anyway on the basis of evidence, because it had to be heard. Whoever brought it, it could even have been Chagulani or
myself
or yourself, or even Mafabi or even Mao
or
anybody else on the merits. And I was delighted that that was granted, but I was extremely disappointed that Jimmy flouted that, disregarded it, and proceeded.
You mean the conference took place at Konakam?
Jimmy changed the conference to both virtual and alleged delegates hanging in different parts of the country. So the virtual conference proceeded, notwithstanding the injunction. We were in court the other day, and Jimmy claimed that his lawyers claimed that they hadn't received the order. When you want to lead the Uganda People's Congress, you should have humility. You should have self-respect, you should have integrity, and you should have some manners that young people like your cameraman can look up to. So you don't tell blatant untruths. Those we tend to leave for others, however much defensive you want to be. So these guys claim that they hadn't been served, and fortunately we had served them legally. What surprised and also disappointed me was the shocking view that these very expensive lawyers, who basically get money from us, did not know that, electronic serving, which you can do via WhatsApp, is legal. And we did it to Jimmy, we did it to his lawyers, and we did it even to the so-called delegates conference that took place. But also in court, Jimmy's lawyer was there and he didn't oppose the application. So you come from that and then you come and face the public and you want to say something else. I think that is not helping to regenerate the Uganda of 40 years.
I also saw Jimmy on TV making commentary about the fact that the police and the court had blocked his upcoming delegates conference. I saw him.
Police did not block. I think police I think declined declined providing.
Of course.
Providing, yes. But
when they declined providing you the security, I saw the spokesperson speaking that they had been guided by the ruling of the court, and I'm sure when they were saying,
which was very sensible.
Yes.
Yes.
I saw Kituma Rusoke saying we had been guided by the ruling of the court that this was an illegality, and so we could not allow it.
And they did the right thing.
And I'm sure when they were dealing with the office of the IGP, they gave reasons why they could not give them security. But secondly, I saw Jim Akena himself on TV commenting, accusing police and court for stepping on his right. So I don't know whether that is correct. If he came back and said, I was not aware, and my lawyers were not aware. If
I would like to have you.
If your lawyers were not aware, but you were aware as a client,
and as a matter of fact,
I thought you'd feed them with
indeed, but as a matter of fact, our lawyers actually logged into the online version of the so-called delegates conference, posted the order.
Hey.
So yes, so all delegates.
Your lawyers.
Yes, and so
how did they penetrate?
Yeah, well, this is basically technology. But UPC,
your lawyers were part.
UPC in normal times were very decent people, but we're also generally very sharp, and so we are really wasting a lot of time and resources in these 3-4 way interactions. I think unfortunately we've been infiltrated by interesting and interested forces. So in the normal times, if we put all our brains together, we could do a lot for this country, and we would possibly give NRA and others a huge run for their money. So we successfully did that, but most importantly, we did that in time before the alleged resolutions that extended Jim Akena's
stay in power,
illegitimate stay in power by another illegitimate 12 months, and that extraordinary bit where they amended the UPC constitution illegally by removing term limits.
Hey, UPC,
not UPC, no, you know UPC constitution. Jimmy amended, not UPC, because Jimmy's meeting is not a UPC meeting. I'm telling you what Jim and his group did.
Okay, the Jimmy faction amended the UPC constitution to remove the term limit.
Yes.
How many term limits did you have?
We had a 2-term limit.
2-term limit. Each of 5 years?
Yes.
So now Jimmy faction has removed that?
Yes.
You can be the president of UPC for as long as your people elect you?
Yes.
Hey.
And Jimmy said that, that is in line with the national constitution. Since we have no term limits at the national constitution, why should he, not UPC, but why should he be strangled? That's being unfair, like a sulking kid. And number 2, do you know what else Jimmy said, which I found very interesting? That, you guys, you're now complaining. No, but Mao has had 4 terms. Why don't I also? So next time you meet Jimmy again, tell him Mao leads DP. Mao leads DP, this UPC. And then finally, of course, even this time limits things. It was just a recent amendment. 2008 was when the constitution was amended to add the term limits. Number 2, that was a constitution amendment under Mama Miriam's administration. And the first election. So
the son is coming to amend what his mother did.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Mama Miriam, who served only 1 term, and she didn't even want to complete 1 term, by the way, very committed. Once Olara repressed her, Olara was elected on the old constitution, but because he was elected in 2010-11, he was to have served really no more than 2 terms. But of course, he chose to serve only 1 term. Now Jimmy comes illegally, in fact, chasing Olara, and he wants to amend the constitution again. Now, I don't know what lacuna is there, I don't know whether people have been, you know, sometimes when you want to dine, me and you enjoy here every other morning. But when you dine with the people who are, you know, things can inject you and then you learn bad manners.
Birds of the same, birds of the same feather.
I tell you, very unfortunate.
Flock together. So he's getting the inspiration from DP.
I don't know.
No, you said it. You said that one of his.
That's what he said. Okay, that is being inspired. Okay, anyway, he said so. So maybe you're right. He's getting inspiration from DP and from Mr. Museveni. But for the record, Jim Akena has said publicly many times, I think even in Parliament, has spoken in support of restoration of term limits nationally. But those are contradictions.
But when it comes to his,
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. This is the Electoral Commission Security Registry, received stamp 28th of July 2025. Court order number this, Joseph Pinitek. I didn't know your other name was Pinitek.
Yeah, I just don't use it very often. Yeah.
Joseph Pinitek Ochieno versus Jim Akena. And another. We continue to act for Mr. Joseph Pinitek Ochieno and refer to our earlier correspondence dated 22nd July 2025. We write to formally bring to the attention of the Independent Electoral Commission the illegality of the purported Extraordinary Delegates Conference held by the Akena faction of the Uganda People's Congress, UPC, on 26th of July 2025, and to respectfully request that the Commission declines to recognize any resolutions or decisions or outcomes arising therefrom.
Yeah.
As the event was conducted in blatant defiance of a binding court order. Specifically on 25th July 2025, the High Court of Uganda Civil Division issued an interim ex parte order in administration application number 0573 of 2025, restraining Jim Akena and the Uganda People's Congress from convening the said conference until the hearing of the main application. The order was made in the presence of counsel from Katende Sempewe advocates representing the UPC, voting to oppose the prayer for an interim order. Consequently, the order was and remains binding on all parties, including the UPC and its leadership. The resolutions from the said illegal delegates conference do not binding the Uganda People's Congress, since it had notice of ruling and interim ex parte order timely. Accordingly, the ruling and interim ex parte order were timely served on Jim Akena on the same date, the 25th, via his known WhatsApp number 07523262 blah 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 at 4:17 p.m. and 9:36 p.m. respectively, in accordance with Rule 16 of the Judicial Electronic Filing Service and Virtual Proceedings Rule. Additionally, during the virtual conference, participants were notified of the existence of the said interim ex parte order in the chat section, despite this clear and timely notice. The conference proceeded, and the resolutions were passed in direct violation of the High Court's binding orders. Such conducts amount to deliberate contempt of court and renders any outcomes of that meeting legally void. We also draw the Commission's attention to the permanent injunction issued by the High Court in miscellaneous cause number this, Enap Adim versus Jim Akena and others. Okay, it's long.
Yeah.
It's long, I may not finish it all. But, so in brief, in a nutshell, has Electoral Commission acted on your communication? If so, what have they communicated to you?
As of now, I do not know of a response to our lawyers yet. I spoke to them earlier. But what is important that they be notified what's important is that they formally received the notification, and what's important is that I'm quite confident that they've taken note of that. And likewise, I do not expect them to act contrary to the law, and so accordingly, I expect them to do the rightful thing, and that is to disregard Jim Akena and to disregard Jim Akena.
Does the Electoral Commission continue to deal with Jim Akena in their communication?
As of today, I don't know, but because they did so in the past, maybe they may, obviously, like any other citizen.
Mr. Ochieno,
I'm just answering you. If anybody writes to them, the Electoral Commission is within its right to engage. If the issue is the form and context of that engagement, it's just my hope and advice that on the basis where we are at the moment, there is no reason, there's no grounds, unless the Electoral Commission, which is a law-abiding organization, and which recently in a public engagement in which I am, their own spokesperson, who represented the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, said that they're a law-abiding agency. And then as long as they're a law-abiding agency, there's no reason why they should act contrary to the law. And so therefore, accordingly, I do not see why, on the basis of the current legal status of UPC, Jim Akena and others, there's no reason why they should recognize.
You have made your point, comrade.
Yeah.
You have made your point on that. Now, political parties are very busy organizing delegates conference to prepare for the general elections.
Yeah.
As I speak to you right now, there have been 2 candidates from FDC, the Nazanakumbe faction, Nandala Mafabi and the Power, Patrick Amuriat Oboy, the engineer. This morning as we sit here, Power has ceded power to Nandala for the presidency, to stand for president. He has accepted to step down for Nandala. NUP is busy organizing their grassroots delegates conference. So they did the delegates conference here. Now they're in another stage of, NRM, they have announced their delegates conference is next month. DP, they finished their delegates conference in Mbara the other day. So all major political parties are very busy organizing. Are you, as UPC, planning to participate in this coming general election?
It's UPC which fought for return to multipartyism, and UPC, thankfully, with the DP, present himself as a candidate for president 2016. He continued until 2020, and despite a Court of Appeal ruling against him, he defied it and continued with Uganda House as his headquarters. Again, he did not present a candidate. I came in 2020, part one challenging that, but two in response of a Court of Appeal ruling. So really, we've had the last 5 years where while I am Ochieno, the candidate for president, Jim Akena presents himself as president, Peter Olubiri presents themselves as president, and none of them have been in action. Jimmy Grant in the last 12 months has decided to say that he's going to stand for president. But that said, if only he did so and organized what he's organizing now, 12 months ago or 6 months ago, we would not be in this mess. So you're right that we should not be having the mess in which we are. In any case, I think he would argue that he had organized a delegates conference, and what's scuppered this is his delegates conference with Dennis and up. For me, all I was doing was I was waiting for the court ruling. I was not going to interfere with their thing. I was waiting for my court ruling. But once that happened, and Jimmy is scuppered off there, and Jimmy, who is scuppered off there, was presenting himself as ready to continue with impunity. The risk of him continuing that on my matter, on my case, was so legally huge that I couldn't sit back and hold on. So basically, I need to seek a judicial intervention, which by and large has brought us to where we are. But this is my hope. Let me tell you important things. This is my hope. I'm answering you. I'm very confident that in the next few weeks, certainly in the next 1 month, we shall be able to find a way of resolving the matter of UPC leadership, whether through the judicial process or politically. And in the event that we're able to do so, we shall have a candidate for president. But that said, at the moment, nothing stops really our party structures mobilizing and organizing. And I have people, who are around the country mobilizing and organizing to participate in the elections. But it does not give us good press.
My elder Joseph.
Yeah.
You want to encourage the party structures to mobilize. These party structures will mobilize against whose leadership?
No, that is the
because if right now you tell Akena, your people in the grassroots can start mobilizing for elective positions from the lowest to the top. I mean, one will be asking who will be signing those forms, who will be funding, who will be in charge.
No, our structures.
So it's not possible.
Our structures are normal political party structures. By the way, the constituency conferences and district conferences have got the mandates to sort out most of the elections.
Yeah, but the district leadership.
But I think where you're right.
The district leadership reports to the commander, who is the party president.
No,
so right now,
no. At the moment, all district structures. By the way, that's the irony in UPC. All non-district structures, are independent UPC structures. None of those factions, nor Ochieno, the non-faction Obote's UPC mainstream constitutionalists, can claim that they own or control any structure. However, what I know those faction guys have done, Jimmy has done it, Walobir has tried to do it. They go ahead and try to elect the structures sympathetic to them. I've not done that. I'm trying to make them keep to the party. But whatever happens, where you're right is that my answer to you is that UPC will field the candidate. But
will you field a presidential candidate?
We will field the presidential candidate.
Presidential candidate?
Yeah, we will field the president.
On the UPC ticket?
That's correct. We will field the president.
Who would that be? Just by...
That's what I'm trying to tell you, that we will resolve this matter. At the moment, Jimmy is not leader. He has been ruled 4 times actually. High Court ruling 2015, Court of Appeal ruling 2020, Supreme Court ruling in 2023. That Justice Namanya dismissed him the other day. Those are 4 major rulings, okay? Court of Appeal asked for fresh elections via Walobiri. That election took place. Walobiri fudged it. I won it. So effectively, I'm the nearest to most legal person, but I said I'm a leader who's not declared. So whatever happens, we shall subject pending court resolution. So whatever happens, I will either be declared leader of the party, so therefore be available, or whatever determination.
So you are likely to stand for presidency?
UPC president is the presidential candidate for national elections. And so, unlike Jimmy, who claimed this and thrice did not present himself, and next time you find him anywhere, ask him why he was not a presidential candidate for the party in 2015, 16, and 2020, which really harmed our party and the image of our party. No Walobiri, who claimed the presidency, but of course, and where is he at the moment in the parliament organization? But in Walobiri's case, he can fairly say that he was elected after the election, because he was elected.
So in other words, I'm seated here with the presidential hopeful.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes.
It means here you are seated with the Minister of Information incoming.
I will be delighted to have you as part of my team.
So, Mr. Joseph, I want to understand, because I'm sure, you're a bright man, I know you get some feelers from Jim Akena and faction. What is the feel like? Is Jim Akena this time round going to respect the rule of law, step down, and do not try to jump over the fence to continue clinging on power of UPC? What's the feel? I want to understand. Because the other day I called him, he did not pick. I was in front of you, I called him. I called his Secretary General. His Secretary General called the who? A bill. And he was my good friend. He picked and he made me busy again. So I have not got an opportunity to, for us we always want to jump over the fence and know what are they planning. So what's the feeling inside the Jim Akena camp? Are they... You're
the spy, please tell me, since we are brothers. Look, no, Jimmy, on the rest of your question, he already defied the permanent injunction by Justice Namanya. He already defied the interim injunction by Justice Akavuma. I went ahead and organized an illegal delegates conference. Went ahead and in that illegal delegates conference extended his term by 12 months. Went ahead and again illegally in that illegitimate and illegal so-called delegates conference amended the party constitution to remove term limits for the party leadership. So that already has done. So that means he's presenting himself as not going anywhere. So I don't think you need to go anywhere.
Comrade Fred Bill. Hello, Comrade Fred. Good morning, sir. I'm okay. My name is Andrew Rumba. Your friend here, the spy Uganda. Yes. The Electoral Commission. I don't. Hey, I don't know whether you'll give me an opportunity to speak to me for a minute. Huh? I don't know whether you'd allow to give me an. Sorry? Hey, but would you allow to speak to me for a minute? I just wanted to know what's happening at UPC.
There's nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong?
Yeah, we are moving on well.
Sure. With this, with the latest court ruling.
Yeah, that's one of the property but we shall overcome.
I am told that Jim Akena pushed you out as the Secretary General of the party. Is that true?
No, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You're invited by that's why you know that I'm the one.
So it is Jim Akena, the president, who has delegated you to Electoral Commission.
I was there with him.
You were there with him?
I was with him for the delegate conference on Saturday.
Hey.
Yes.
But then the court ruling bars him from acting on behalf of UPC.
He doesn't.
So what was exactly the Electoral Commission? They mean the court ruling saying about him that he is the legitimate leader or is not?
No. They were saying that he was not nominated. But nomination is that the district conference, if you read our constitution. So we are not in that stage. It was just improper framing of the whatever by
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, comrade.
So that's the district conference.
Okay.
That stage yet.
Thank you for your time. I'm going to get time and I come to you. We have a full discussion over this. I'm going to get some time. Thank you, sir. So, Comrade Ochieno, you are lying. Jim Akena is in full control of UPC.
What?
He has relegated his Secretary General. He's at the Electoral Commission.
Doing what? Doing what?
That the Electoral Commission is having a groundbreaking ceremony for, I think, a certain office along Entebbe Road. Jim Akena, in his power as president of UPC, has delegated his Secretary General. He's acting on behalf of the president of UPC. So your court rulings are useless.
No, do you mind calling the chairman of the Electoral Commission?
Right now you could be very busy.
Or his spokesperson. Because those are the people, you know. No, I don't tell lies, and in UPC we don't tell lies. Or call his spokesperson. People who tell lies and they're in UPC, you know, that's a business between them and their God.
Fred Bill,
I'm saying people in UPC.
He's at the Electoral Commission. You wrote the Electoral Commission the other day telling them this is no longer our leader. There is a court ruling. ABC. Now the same Electoral Commission is sending invitation letters to the Jim Akena leadership. Come and attend our function.
I think I know about that function, and I think the letters may have been out before, because this is a scheduled program that was supposed to have taken place much earlier. So the Electoral Commission reorganized the day. But yeah, fair enough, that's a matter for them, whomever they invite. But quite clearly, the Electoral Commission would be in contempt of court if they continue doing what they're doing with Jim Akena. But I mean, they've been doing this for whatever time period. So maybe on this occasion, Jim is going to say that Museveni has closed his eyes. Yeah, Museveni closed his eyes this morning. Please, you know, yeah.
Let me call Muchunguzi.
That's correct. Yeah.
Let me call Muchunguzi.
Yeah.
We were here organizing our suits.
Yes, that's correct.
Hello, Mr. Julius. Hello. My name is Abri Rumba from the Spy, Mr. Julius. How are you? Yeah, I was asking about how Electoral Commission is handling the issue of UPC leadership. they wrote to you a letter saying that Jim Akena is no longer the legitimate leader, but I'm told that the Electoral Commission is still dealing with the Jim Akena faction. How is that true? Yes, it is in court, but then how is the Electoral Commission now dealing with the current faction of Jim Akena? It's court. Okay, sir. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
He's busy. He says court.
Yeah.
So now tell me, Electoral Commission seems not to be with you, my brother.
No, I don't know what you mean by Electoral Commission not being with me.
They are still with the Jim Akena faction.
I don't know. That's a matter for them if they're in contempt of court. As a matter of fact, to be fair to them, I'm not a declared president. Okay? But the Electoral Commission should not recognize Jim Akena.
Electoral Commission.
They should not recognize the Jim Akena. They should not deal with Jim Akena. The nearest person maybe they should be dealing with is Peter Olubiri, because at least the Court of Appeal ruling gave legitimacy to Olara, Otunu, Bosa, and Olubiri in that order. You see, so that's the nearest really the Electoral Commission should be. I do not have the seal of the party yet.
Who has the seal of the party?
The seal of the party is in the hands of Peter Olubiri, except I think he's putting the wardrobe in his chambers. So because since he swore himself as leader of the party, have you seen him anywhere near recently? If you see, please be kind to the party and call the police. Call the police.
So as we come to the end of our show here, Mr. Joseph Ochieno, the permanent spokesperson of Milton Obote.
Yes.
Who is the current leader of UPC? And who should now government, like Electoral Commission, like police deal with? Who is the current leader? If I had a function and I wanted to invite the president of UPC, whom would I invite?
Upon a clear conscience, you should invite me.
Invite you.
Upon a clear conscience. If you want to be legally technical, you should invite. Unfortunately, you should invite Olubiri. But there's no circumstance under which you should invite Akena. Yes.
So these government institutions that are still continuing to deal with the Jim Akena as the party president are doing it illegally?
They're doing it illegally, yes. And in contempt of courts. Court ruling, contempt of Court of Appeal, contempt of recent Namanya ruling, and recently contempt of Justice Joseph Kavuma. And that's why I'm saying the sooner the judicial process expedites this matter that they nearly do not handle as well in the last 4 years, the better. And the sooner these interested people who want to do pocket change in the name of Uganda Post Congress came to realize that what's at stake is the future of this country and the future of Ugandans, and that this political party has seen many people die for it, the better.
Face that camera and tell the institutions of government that still dealing with Jim Akena faction what they should be doing, and then tell them next time they have an invitation for UPC leadership, that invitation should be directed to you. I am listening.
There's no circumstance under which at this material time anybody in government, any other public organization should be recognizing or dealing with Mr. Jim Akena on the basis of Court of Appeal ruling of 2020, very definitive by Lady Justice Irene Muliagonja, followed by a recent ruling by Justice Bernard Namanya. But in any case, a much more robust one was a recent injunction by Lady Justice Joseph Kavuma. So quite clearly, Jim Akena is an illegality and has been an illegality for the last 10 years. So any engagements with him really is either as a result of impunity, deliberate self-interest, ignorance, or perhaps a blatant breach of the provisions, basically breach of the law. The nearest person who holds the office for the party formally, because he had been handed that by Justice Muliagonja, is Peter Olubiri. But Olubiri is not president because I won the elections. But anybody can go ahead and argue that, well, because Walibiri declared himself leader and I've not declared myself leader, so that possibly is. But yes, the elected leader of the party is Joseph Ochieno. I did not assume office for the reasons obviously granted, but my view is that the sooner the judiciary, does the right thing and disposes of a matter that should have taken 6 months since March 2021 and has taken 4 years and 4 months, the better. And I think everybody should be able to examine their conscience, because the alternative really should have been going to the bush. And you guys, what going to the bush does. Museveni went to the bush in 1981 instead of going to the High Court in Olara. And the mess in which Luwero people found themselves for 4 years, and the mess in which this country has now found itself for 40 years. I want to hand over a political party which is in a decent and organized state to my children and children's children, including to the camera young man. But also, we want to hand over this Republic of Uganda, including your own children, grandchildren, in the hands of people who can depend on the law to be able to protect them from apparent injustices that most Ugandans have faced in the last 40 years. The sooner that is done, the better.
Mr. Ochieno, your very last comment. You are the permanent spokesperson,
yes, I am,
of the living Obote and the dead Milton Obote.
Yes.
You are still the best candidate to do that, to speak for him.
I'll do that until I follow me.
Your last break.
Until yes.
Very granted. You are still a best friend and best comrade for Mama Miria Obote.
Mama Miria is the mother of the nation, and she's a fantastic lady. Yes.
You still respect those two people. Those two people are the same people who gave birth to Jim Akena, with whom you disagree. Advise Jim Akena here on this. Jim
Akena is my brother.
Advise him now as a brother.
Jim Akena.
What you should be doing.
Jim Akena is my brother. I think you should examine your conscience. Know that everything you've done actually since 2015 has been contrary to what really, the president and founder president of this country and your own dad, Milton Obote, would want to see happen. Unfortunately, on that we fundamentally disagree. We disagree with your position and the manner in which you've handled UPC affairs, and also fundamentally disagree with you on some of the tactical and strategic approaches you've applied in engaging with others outside UPC, something that I think, makes my president, and who's actually your dad, feel rather uncomfortable in heaven wherever he is. But, it's not too late, Jimmy. You can re-examine your conscience. Recently, we had a conversation. We can build on this conversation, and then with humility, all of us recognize our shortcomings, and then try and come back to the mission that Dr. Obote sent you and me home here in 2005, and that we make sure that this party is in a good place, and that you can retire to Akokoro and I retire to Nagongere, when very well knowing that we've cleansed the Constitution of Uganda Post Congress. We've cleansed the name and image of this party, and we put this party in a place in which it's able to restore sanity opposed Mr. Museveni's rather atrocious regime.
You've spoken to Jim Akena of recent?
Jim is my brother.
No, answer my question. He is your brother. Have you spoken to him of recent?
Yes.
When did you last speak?
Fairly recently, yeah. Fairly recently.
Like when? 1 week? 1 month?
1 week.
1 week ago.
Yeah.
You spoke?
Yes.
What did you speak?
And that's what I've been trying to tell you, that we are trying our level best to seek to resolve this matter, but I think they're to my self-interest.
There was no mediator between your engagement?
No, it was not about mediation, but it was about...
It was a call over and you spoke?
Yes, we had conversations, yes.
That's a good way of resolving it.
Yeah, so you see in UPC, anyway, I don't know other people. In UPC, we don't throw bombs. Yeah, in UPC, we don't throw bombs.
Okay, and on that note, we've come to the end of today's Andrew Irumba Live Show, and my name is Andrew Irumba. I've been hosting my senior elder, Comrade Joseph Ochieno. I have come to learn another name. The third name is Pinitek.
Pinitek, yes.
Pinitek.
But Pinibiri Mayum.
No, that's what I can't add. I've just learned the third name of Joseph Ochieno. Joseph Ochieno is the permanent spokesperson of the living Milton Obote and the dead Milton Obote. He is now at very big contrast and contradiction with the Jim Akena, the son of Milton Obote.
On issues.
Yes,
on matters pertaining to Uganda post-Congress and of the political strategy on matters relating to the Republic of Uganda under the rulership of Mr. Museveni.
Okay.
That is where we differ.
You had to add that rider.
Yeah.
It's okay. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. We say now. Till next time. Join us on the ICE Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2025 and 11th Anniversary Bonfire Dinner, recognizing and awarding Pan-Africans who selflessly fought and defended the rights and freedoms of the black race globally on 30th August 2025 at Fair Hotel from 2 p.m. Dress code, strictly pub t-shirts or traditional African wear. Theme, One Africa, One Passport. United States of Africa, USA. Book your dinner card now. Table for 8, 3 million. Platinum, 1 million. Gold, 500K. Silver, 400K. Bronze, 150K. Call 0757 342317 or 0782 342317 to book your dinner card online now. Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu. I am because we are. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by Fairway Hotel, NBS TV, Afro Mobile, Lupa Radio Foundation, JJK, The Spy Uganda, Detective UG.